I give the call to the member for Hume, who will be heard in silence.
My question is to the Prime Minister. UBS data shows that in the last month alone, the price of Vegemite has increased by 8%, peanut butter by 9%, and yoghurt has increased by 12%. Having promised to take responsibility, will the Prime Minister apologise to Australians for failing to take pressure off inflation, meaning Australians will pay more at the checkout?
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the Shadow Treasurer for the question. He seems incapable of asking a question of the Treasurer, and they of course spent their budget estimates last week asking the big questions about what T-shirts people were wearing and all the other nonsense that they carried on with.
Order. Members on my right.
Mr Speaker, this is the paradox of the Shadow Treasurer. Lightweight but dense. Lightweight but dense, Mr Speaker. The fact is that when you look at Australia's performance, he's asked about inflation. Well, he should know, because the CPI jumped 2.1% in the March 2022 quarter on his watch, the largest quarterly rise this century. The notable price rises in the quarter included automotive fuel 11%, beef 7.6%, vegetables 6.6%, fruit 4.9%, and non-durable grocery products 6.7%. That's what occurred. And then
the Prime Minister will pause, who is referring to the prices of goods, which was included in the question about Vegemite and butter and yoghurt. The peanut butter. Order. The member for Page. The manager. The Shadow Treasurer on a point of order.
Well, relevance, Mr Speaker, is a very specific question asking the Prime Minister to take responsibility.
Yeah. The Prime Minister is being relevant because the question at the end said about Australians paying more at the checkout, and the Prime Minister is giving detailed information about goods and services at the checkout. That is relevant to the question. He could not be more relevant. Give the call to the Prime Minister.
In the 12 months to March quarter 2023, the Shadow Treasurer likes to talk about the G7. He thinks we're a member. But when you have a look at what the G7 countries and you compare us with them, the fact is I'm asked about food. And of the G7 countries, this is where they're at. Canada, 10.5. France, 15.6.
The Deputy
Germany, 20.4. Italy, 13. UK, 18.1. United States, 9.9. Every single one of those countries has higher food inflation. You can't be more specific than this, than Australia. Every single one, Australia's performance has been better at. And I note that at the National Press Club, the Shadow Treasurer was asked, why was inflation something that was out of the Coalition's control but is now, as you say, able to be controlled by Labor, especially given the war in Ukraine is still going? What was his answer? It said it all. Well, the key to answering that question is that we're not in government, Labor is now.
Order.
Says it all about this lightweight Shadow Treasurer.
Order.